Hello, friends. Today we will discover why Washington is on edge as the BRICS nation, which are namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, challenges the global order. So, in this video, we will explore the economics and the political shift that are making the US rethink its position. We will delve into the de-dollarization movement, the creation of alternative financial bank, which is a new bank, and the growing geopolitical influence of this powerful bloc. Is the era of American economic dominance coming to an end? Find out what the rise of BRIC means for the global economy and for the future of the international relations. Let's go. For over 80 years, the world has operated under a single dominant economic and political framework. It's a system built on the bedrock of the US dollar, led by the Western institutions. But today, the ground beneath that framework is shifting. A new alliance, once dismissed as a mere acronym, is now a powerful force actively challenging the established order. This is a story of BRICS, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, also South Africa, and why its rise has become Washington's greatest geopolitical fear. BRICS is no longer just a loose collection of emerging economy. It's an organized bloc with clear mission to create a multipolar world. The reason for Washington's fear are not so simple. They are intertwined with economics, history, and the fundamental shift in the global power dynamics. To understand why BRICS is so threatening, we have to first understand the system it is trying to dismantle. After the World War II, United States built the modern global order. The Bretton Woods Agreement established the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank and cemented the US dollar as the world's primary reserve currency. For decades, this system has given Washington unparalleled power. It meant that a financial crisis in Moscow or a trade dispute in Beijing could be resolved through the institutions and a currency control from Washington. The dollar's supremacy gave the US incredible leverage. It could sanction rivals, fund its deficit, and influence global markets with a level of authority no other nation could match. This was the unipolar movement, a period where America stood alone at the top. But this era of unchallenged power is facing its biggest threat yet. The most direct challenge from BRICS is the de-dollarization movement. For years, this was just a fringe idea, but now it's becoming a reality. The turning point is the weaponization of the dollar. When the US and its ally froze Russia's foreign reserve and cut it off from the SWIFT financial system, it sends a clear message to the world: align with us or risk being cut off from the global financial system. This move backfired. Instead of isolating Russia, it pushed other nations, including the key US partners, to seriously consider alternatives. They saw their own dollar dominated assets as potential targets, and BRICS was ready completely to capitalize. India and Russia began trading oil in rupee. China has increased its use of yuan in trade. Saudi Arabia, a long-term ally of the US and the bedrock of the petrodollar system, is now openly discussing trading oil in other currencies, has even joined BRICS. For Washington, this isn't just a minor inconvenience. The dollar reserve status allows the US to borrow cheaply, maintain a massive trade deficit, and project power globally. If that status erodes, so does the core pillar of the American economic strength. This is not about dollar collapsing overnight. It's about a slow, steady erosion of trust and dominance that could fundamentally alter the global financial landscape. Beyond the currency, BRICS is building an entire parallel system of global governance. For decades, the IMF and the World Bank have been, criticized for their Western-centric approach for imposing strict conditions on loans to developing nations. BRICS saw this as an opportunity in 2014. They established the New Development Bank, also known as NDB. NDB is the World Bank competitor. It fund infrastructure projects within the political strings, without the political strings attached. Crucially, it can also issue loans in the local currency of the member states, further bypassing the US dollars. Alongside the NDB, BRICS created the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, a safety net designed to help members through financial crisis without having to go to the IMF and accepts its condition. This is a direct challenge to the architecture of the post-war world. It offers a developing nation a genuine choice, a way to pursue their own interests without being beholden to Western financial institutions. By providing an alternative, BRICS is weakening the very tool Washington has used for decades to maintain influence and control. The true scale of Washington fears become clear when the recent BRIC expansion. What was once a club of five has now opened its door to new members, creating BRICS Plus alliances. This is not just about adding new economies, it's about adding strategic partners. The inclusion of Iran, the UAE, and the Saudi Arabia brings immense power and influence over the global energy market, further accelerating de-dollarization in the critical oil trade. This expansion sends a powerful signal. The BRICS project is gaining momentum. It's seen as a viable alternative for countries in the global south that are tired of being lectured by the West and want a voice in global affairs. From Latin America to Africa to the Middle East nations are increasingly looking to BRICS as a counterweight to the US dominance. This growing bloc represents a significant portion of the world's population, its economic output, and natural resources. So, how is Washington responding to this monumental shift? The approach has been multi pronged. On one hand, the US continues to use its traditional tool of power, sanctions, diplomatic pressure, and public warnings. But this has proven to be a double edged sword that we have seen so far. On the other hand, Washington is shoring up its existing alliances. We have seen renewed focus on the partnership like the G7, the Quad in the Indo-Pacific, the ACAS. The message is clear: strengthen the core and consolidate the power among existing allies. However, this strategy risks isolating US from the very countries it needs to work with to solve the global problem. It creates a new divide: the West versus the rest. The reality is that the era of a single superpower is over. The world is moving towards a multipolar world, and BRICS is leading that way. The question is not if the world is changing, but how we will navigate this change. Will it be a peaceful transition characterized by the cooperation on global challenges like the climate change and the pandemic, or will it be a period of intense rivalry and confrontation? Washington's fear of BRICS isn't about one nation or one currency, it's a fear of losing control, of losing its long held position as the world's undisputed leader. The rise of BRICS is forcing the United States to confront its own vulnerabilities and reevaluate its place in the world that is no longer content to simply follow its lead. This isn't just a political story, its unfolding narrative of a new global chapter. So, friends, thanks for joining me live. Thanks for watching. If you want to dive deep into this topic, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. And I will catch you soon in the next one.